Well, hello there again, precious. Are you here for another checkup? Oh, how exciting. I wonder what terrible injuries you have for me to examine today. Oh, but before I forget, do you have that slip for me? Yes, of course. Take your time. I'll just be standing here, waiting, eagerly. Yes. Now let's see here. Another quality order. Full examination and a few of my handcrafted healing tonics. How lovely. It's been a spell since I've had an opportunity to share my wares with someone that didn't serve directly beneath the Empress. Yes, usually I just keep people from dying and let the other medics of the fortress do the rest. If even that. But you keep seeming to find a way into my office for regular checkups. Are you by any chance perhaps getting so injured on purpose for me? You were just in here not too long ago and should have just barely recovered from those wounds. Oh, not really. Well, regardless of whether or not you're doing it for me is beyond the point. What matters right now is that you are injured, and I have work that needs to get done. I'm not busy in the slightest, traveler. I'm just always happy to get along with my work, so I can invest more time into my pet projects. Yes, pets. Say, how did you get injured this time? Looks almost like this massive laceration across your back came from a blade of quite substantial size. You're quite lucky that I'm good at what I do. If you'd left this wound to its own devices, you might have found yourself in the dirt in a few days. Of course I care. If you died, then there wouldn't be so many new wounds coming in for me now, would there? First things first. We cleanse this wound. The blade that struck you must have been poorly kept. The cut isn't clean. Oh, filthy. Any wound upon a body should be precise. I do hope that you killed whoever inflicted this upon you. Good. And if you should have any of their parts left over, I should hope that you brought them to me for further examination. We'll see. Oh, what a tease you are. Just remember not to tease me too much now. After all, I am the one holding a scalpel to your neck. Besides this one big gash, you should be just fine. Give it a week or two of proper rest. No adventuring for you, I'm afraid. I care about your well-being far too much, so no killing until after you're healed up. Don't misunderstand me. I'll never turn down more bodies showing up at my doorstep. But I'd very much rather that you weren't one of them. Listen, don't take it wrong, but I think that I might be starting to like you. Yes, I find you fascinating. Very interesting. You have this strange outlook on the world and fear not for yourself, but for those in your company. You suffer wound after wound, yet you keep pressing onwards. Such a sturdy little specimen with such a fun personality. How could I not enjoy your company? Oh, it isn't flattery. That, and you seem far more uncomfortable with my compliments rather than happy with them. But I take no offense, don't you worry. I will always love and appreciate the afflictions you bring me, regardless of your feelings. Ah, of course. You'll want to know of the tonics that I can provide you. With this slip, unfortunately, I only have access to the one to give you. It is an extremely potent one that I take pride in, of course, but there are better ones. The others are all out of stock, I'm afraid. The Empress has grand aspirations which require much blood to be spilled, and when her men go off to do whatever irrelevant thing they do, oftentimes they come back injured and require my more intricate medicines in order to stabilize themselves. Other times the potions I make are taken into the field to be used on site. Such a shame, too. How I would love to see the effects of my craft, live and in person during a battle. Oh, my blood is pumping so quickly now just thinking about it. Perhaps one day I can hear the cries of the battlefield again. How I miss her calls so much. The death and opportunity for study is endless in places of conflict such as those. Your tonic? Oh, yes, of course, my apologies. I'd gotten lost in my own thoughts again. Your tonic shall be one of healing, whether you're burned, poisoned, or otherwise, so long as you aren't dead. Imbibing this potion of my creation will cure any common malady beset upon you. In addition to this, it will rapidly heal any minor wounds you may have accrued during your endeavors. Yes, you'll receive it once you've been treated for the current injuries you have. Remember, I always take good care of my patients, especially a quickly rising favorite such as yourself. You come here so often that I, of course, have no choice but to take a strong interest in what possibilities you bring. Unlike many leaders in Kosovo, you seem to be ever-changing, on the move, not some static piece on a dusty chessboard. Maybe a little jab at our fearless, daring leader. No, I wouldn't say that I'm a fan of the Empress. They have kept me in here for quite some time, after all. Nearly 10 years now. In a few months it'll have been a decade, chained to the floor of this place, providing my services to the people of the fortress of Kosovo. If you can keep a secret, I can tell you why I'm here. Do you promise? I take promises very seriously, just so you're aware. Good. Well, to keep it succinct, I was once a rather enthusiastic young man, still a student of the medical arts at the time. I was studious, researching the effects of the black mist on the corpses of Kosovo that had washed upon the shores of Westport. I was enthralled, enamored, and thoroughly entertained by the way that the undead creaked back to life, and how they still managed to move while I was operating on their restrained bodies. I learned so much. But in those days, my curiosity found me in need of new subjects to study. Not animals, not the dead, nor the undead. I needed living, breathing specimens to practice my craft. For without a living host, how was I to ensure that the work I was doing was improving? Without injury, how could I practice suturing a gaping stomach wound, or properly cauterizing a severed limb? I made do with what I had. Kosovo has an abundance of materials for me to play and work with, and I took full advantage of the great number of living hosts. But eventually, I sought greater specimens, people of strength. Until this point, I had only studied and operated on the weak or the mundane. I needed someone stronger. And who better than the Empress of Kosovo? I thought that perhaps I would be able to subdue them and see what made them so strong. But my attempts were quickly thwarted. It didn't take them long to figure out that I was the Kosovo Cutter, the Mad Doctor, and all the other names given to me during my prime, if you will. Since then, they've let me live under the condition that I work here in this place until the day I die. I get to practice my craft, to some extent, and her people get healed when it is required. Not the worst deal I could expect given the circumstances, I guess. I did kill quite a few, but I still long for more. Not only as a doctor, but as a human. I wish to leave this place and continue my studies abroad. With the skills and tools I've acquired over the years, I want nothing more than to be free again. To pursue a career in medicine, as I'd planned so long ago. I think that over the years of my indentured servitude, I've learned more than enough about living bodies and healing. I now wish to pursue the potential of reanimated corpses and the like, remnants of the Black Mist. To be able to rid the world of it is my newfound goal, I think. I haven't fully decided yet. Well, yes, I may be just slightly mad, but I can tell when something isn't right. The Black Mist. It brings so many wounds and so much death to study. But I know what will come of it all in the end. And if it is allowed to fester, like a wound, it will poison and kill the host that is the Black Waters. I cannot allow that to happen, as it would halt my ability to pursue the true science that I crave, the medical arts. And that is why I must inquire into your loyalty to the Empress. I know that you've been working for them, but what are your thoughts and prices on perhaps joining sides with a new partner in crime?